All right, here we go. All right, first and foremost, man, we're in the fire. Our program's in the fire. It's been a struggle a little bit lately, and I think what's happening is right now is we're being burned from the struggle, but gold is being produced. And what I mean by that is, this program is going to be a program. Guys are going to compete. Guys are going to be held accountable. Guys are going to make sure they take care of their classwork. And if they don't, they will not be here. And for me, I've given guys opportunities, but eventually it's just going to stop because I am building a program of grit and winning and competition. And that's what I'm looking for. And I think, I think it's fair, but right now is where it's going to show me who can be a part of this program going forward. Because listen to me, there are players coming. I have time to recruit the transfer portal. We have some young players that are coming that are pretty good. We are going to be good next year. We are going to win. Okay? I didn't have time to recruit the portal last year. I didn't. I didn't have time to get the guys that I really wanted. I didn't. Thankfully, I found this guy. Thankfully, I found Cooper. I got a team. And no disrespect to the guys on this team, but I'm going to have some spots available for high-level players that have experience to help these guys. And that's my job. That's our staff's job. And, that's what I'm looking for going forward. Is who wants to be a part of our building, who wants to be a part of this thing going forward, who's going to compete in the classroom, on the court. That's what I'm looking for. And I'm excited to see who will step up and be that person. But I'm also excited, obviously, going forward, our program, where it's going to be. So our fans, everybody that's following us, this is the lowest it will be. I guarantee you that.
Darius and Isaiah, I want to talk to you about playing so many minutes. How do you manage fighting through playing such a heavy minute load right now? What do you do to take care of your body? How do you handle it mentally? What's your approach to that, Darius?
Being a leader, I think, playing 40 minutes, if I have to do that for the team, I'll do that. Then, coach is giving me confidence, and we trust each other, and we communicate with each other throughout the game, how I'm feeling and stuff like that. So I think 40 minutes wasn't that bad today. And then, after the game, just taking care of my body, making sure I'm resting the day after and stuff like that.
Is that your approach to that?
Just making sure I ice, honestly, and fuel it with the right things, making sure I change my eating habits, making sure I'm listening to my body and communicating with coach when days I need rest and then days I'm able to go 100%.
I will say this about both these guys. Both these guys are actually not 100%. They're not at all. And one fan was complaining to me and saying a bunch of negative stuff as I was walking out. And, we need to realize that this kid sprained his, knee really bad. And we're playing him because we don't have the depth and didn't have a deep team. But he's fighting through that for this program. So anybody that would say anything negative about that, is not a part of us, 100%. I don't appreciate that. This kid has been hurt. He's been playing through a lot of pain, okay? We don't have the depth. We don't. So our fans need to realize that, and people who watch us play need to realize that these guys are leaving it all on the floor for us, okay? And eventually, when we have more depth and we have more players to give them rest, all right, they won't have to put their bodies through that. But right now, in the part of our program where our program is, I made the decision to come back here and build this program, basically from scratch, all right? These two guys are fighting and giving everything they have through pain. So I just think we need to have a little perspective here and understand what they're giving up right now for their bodies.
Darius, what's your approach to being in a leadership role when things aren't going well right now? This is new to you compared to where you were at a year ago as a sophomore on a more veteran team. How do you lead through adversity? What's your approach to this?
Making sure I'm communicating with the guys, how they're doing, and then keeping my head high, having positive energy, having a next play mentality when things are going like this, especially for a young group, it can be defeating. So just rallying the guys together through times like this and worrying about what's in front of us and keep building the future of this program.
Isaiah, same topic, maybe your thoughts on, as a junior on this young team, how you approach leadership specifically in this moment where the wins haven't been there.
Just constantly trying to stay positive, trying to encourage and build confidence in each other, but also trying to like sharpen iron a little bit. Sometimes try to show it by example, and has been working on being a little bit more vocal.
Darius, who's someone you lean on when in moments like this? And how your dad's a coach. Is it Roger? Is it somebody on the coaching staff? Maybe what are some of those conversations like in terms of who you lean on when things aren't going quite the way the team wants to?
I'll probably say first is myself. I feel like I'm confident. I put the work in, so I feel like results are good to show. And then also, look with the coaching staff. Obviously, we talk about adjustments we need to do each game and how we're going to approach each day. And like communication with my dad as well. He watches every game, so having a good corner behind me with the coaching staff and my dad, it helps a lot.
Roger, looking at the shooting percentage tonight for UNI, what did you see in terms of how much was them playing well on the offensive end, and how much were things you need to do different defensively?
I think they made some plays. I think obviously there was some fatigue with us as well. I think it was a lack of discipline. Some of the players on the court made some mistakes that we went over, and some of that I just didn't play them because of that. That's just I'm tired of my bad, so I'm just not gonna play guys no matter what the result is, because you're going to focus, you're going to lock in, you're going to play defense. And I think late in the game, I thought some of that was fatigue. Some of that was Anthony. Like, Anthony's been on the scout team, and, it's a bit much for me to ask him to come out and execute. He's going to make mistakes. It's just going to happen. But I'm playing him because at least he'll play hard, And then the last thing is, I think, rim protection. I decided to redshirt Lucas, and Lucas is probably our best rim protector. And, I could have taken him off early in the year of the red shirt, but his red shirt's working. He's getting better. He's put on weight. But in practice, he blocks everything. Right, guys? He blocks everything. And, for us to see him on the bench and not have him in the game, I think eventually he's going to be like a Bashil Fernandez type player. He's going to erase stuff. And I think when you have real rim protection, I think that helps a lot with some of those layups, some of those cuts, and guys that can go up and actually block it. Casper, I can't expect him to do that. Jerome, that's not probably one of his strong suits. Cooper's still learning. So, I think a lot of that could be shored up with rim protection, but unfortunately right now, we don't have it.
You touched on Anthony. What is it that, what type of tone does he set when you put him in? What is it that leads you to want to put him in the game?
He just plays hard, man. That's it. And right now where we are, you look at our experience, and there's some very talented teams in this league, some really good teams in this league. We have some pieces, I think, that fit, but, and to be honest, a lot of times we're kind of outmatched at certain positions. And some of that is, age and physicality. Some of that is we just got to get better, and we're going to address that in the offseason. But the thing with Anthony is, I never have a question if he's going to play hard. And I never have a question if he's going to play tough. And that's why I put him in the game. And you know what? Unfortunately, as a head coach, my record might look bad this first year. But at the end of the day, I want to play fighters. And I don't care how athletic you are. I don't care what type of crazy, awesome plays you can make. If you don't play hard, if you don't play tough, you're not going to play. And I'm going to put in Anthony, because at least if he makes mistakes, he's going to make mistakes aggressively.
I got a question from Paul here. Did Jackson Edwards have an injury, or was there another reason he didn't play in the second half?
Nope, no injury.
Okay. And then one last question. How difficult is that game plan when Cooper picks up 2 quick fouls and has to go to the bench?
It's difficult, man, and that's happened to us a lot, and obviously, I hope as he gets older, he's been freshman of the week 4 times in this league so far. What he's doing as a freshman, I would think that he would gain some respect. So hopefully, next year he'll have a little bit more respect, and maybe some of the other guys in this league that are high-level players, I think tend to get away with a little bit more, and it's okay. That's just a part of it, and that's how it goes. When we're in the state we are as a program, and we got a freshman, you got to earn your stripes a bit. So I'm hoping that will change as he gets more, I guess, notoriety in this league. But 4 times freshman of the week. I mean, to get out the game early like that, I mean, it's a dagger to us. Same thing happened here. We played Drake, so hoping that we can continue to get him, keep him in the game more. And I think next year, hopefully, that'll happen. Now, with that being said, you know, some of it is coaching. You know, I got to continue to coach him up, teach him. He has to be smarter, and that's just, you know, the experience. I mean, it's a lot. He's logging a lot. He's having to do a lot for us, and I think some of that you see as a basketball player is immaturity, but that's normal for a freshman like that, you know. So he'll get better. Hold on, Dot had a question.
You know, what we see is not always the same thing that you see. But what's happened the whole season is we see effort. Not everybody and not every minute, you know. But it is very obvious there's a lot of effort. Not always successful. But you got to have the effort to start with. And your team has that. And I think a lot of fans, when they think about it, they realize, you know, it's gonna build.
It is. And one thing, like, I'm not a big excuse maker. You know, I don't like making excuses. That's not what I do. But, you know, I'm a pretty good recruiter. And, you know, I think coming into the situation, you know, I didn't have the time that, you know, I think I needed, which is understandable. And that's not a reason where we are now, but I didn't have the time that I needed to really attack that portal. The reason I'm sharing it is this year I'm going to have that time. And you know, I had relationships with players that, you know, obviously went other places. We have a lot of relationships. My staff have a lot of relationships. So, you know, I went young, you know, just because I had to fill out a roster, you know, and thankfully, like I said, man, I was able to get this guy. And obviously Darius stayed, and, you know, I was able to get Cooper. And so, you know, we have some good pieces, but to be honest, our talent level has to kind of rise a bit because this is a very talented league. And effort is something I'm not going to put up with, lack of effort. I don't care how talented you are. That's not who I am. That's not how I was as a player. So I'm not going to put up with that. And being soft, I'm not going to put up with that. But, you know, at the end of the season, I'll evaluate where we are, and I'm going to get some guys in here. We're going to bring some guys in, and it's going to be fun. But, you know, this is, I think for me as a first-time head coach, being in this situation is challenging me to grow. Doesn't feel good, but you don't grow when everything feels good, everything's easy. And that's my message to these guys. And I think they're embracing it.